excited about in a way, because I don't know if you know this. I think I might have told you last time I met. I was born in the Czech Republic, or actually it used to be Czechoslovakia. And when I was little, it used to be a communist country. So this process of electing, we would have a president also, but I remember my parents, it was not necessarily a process that really they took part in. First of all, there it worked completely different as to like where people really didn't participate in electing their president. It was up to the Communist Party to decide. So, and you know, really kind of the participation in our government in Czechoslovakia was very little from people, because you know there was just one party state, communist state, and so people were really kind of. I just remember my parents; they were just not ever into it, because they're like, well, this is no fun. There's just one party to pick from, so like, why would I even participate, right? You know, just kind of. I always think it's really kind of a cool thing and exciting to be able to participate in your government. And you know, you guys, I don't know if Mr. Burley told you yet, but we're about to, or you might have kind of started going into this unit of comparative government. Did you guys know that? Or do you still have Foundations of Civilizations anymore?
We have like religion.
Yeah, like you know, so you're kind of, you know, we talked about religion in Foundations of Civilizations, how religion started to spread throughout the world, right? And you know, Mr. Burley, and he's talking to my kids about religion right now, even though it might seem like, what does that have to do with government? But the thing is, one of the things that we're going to look into is, where do I have that, is thinking about kind of forming conclusions, how governments get formed, and thinking also about how kind of actions of various nations and their citizens, and you know, thinking about some of the things that are happening around the world today as far as government goes and you know, nations goes. Sometimes, you know, thinking about people's beliefs is really important, and so we're hoping that you're going to find it fitting into it as well. All right, but nevertheless, you guys are starting with, I guess, with me, with this unit of comparative government. So our your thinking will kind of be shifting towards thinking about kind of the political and economic systems, all right? And today, actually, a homework, you're going to have a little homework for me. I promise it's not going to be super painful. You guys are going to get, at the end of the day, hopefully we're going to have time for it, you guys are going to get the KWL chart, and there's going to be 2 columns. I wonder, there's going to be actually 3 columns, and you're going to need to fill out just the first 2, all right? And then bring it here tomorrow as well, all right? So, let's start thinking about presidential elections. What do you guys know about presidential elections? Think about the cartoon. Can you guys make out anything on the cartoon? What do you think about it? The moment to look at it. What do you think?
That there's a lot of candidates running, and that it's getting harder and harder to make splash then it's getting harder to yourself recognize.
Yeah. Would you agree with that? Have you guys been paying attention to presidential elections? You guys start thinking about that, all right? Obviously the goldfish over here is representing the presidential candidates, and they're all, you know, right now we're at this point when there are people who are deciding whether they should jump into the race or not, and so we kind of have some of the goldfish jumping in, and you know, one thing that they're thinking about is how hard they're going to have it to kind of get themselves out there, recognized, have people know about them, so people know to possibly vote for them, all right, or to gain support from people. All right, our objective, our job in the next 2 days will be, first, today, and we're going to try to get there today, we're going to try to understand why is it that it is such a long process to elect a president here in the United States, because we're still a year out, and already I have, you know, Junior Scholastic magazine and Upfront magazines that have articles about that. I have, you know, when you turn on the news, it is impossible to not hear about the elections, all right? And then tomorrow, we're going to use our understanding from today we're going to get to the final step of being able to describe the steps the Democrats and the Republican parties take to kind of elect their candidate and decide who's going to be actually on the ballot come election day, all right? And we have some vocabularies, and you guys, I have them written over here on the board as well, and so, you know, all this that's written over there is written for us over here the whole time, all right? So, you guys should have, if you haven't taken out your notes yet or set up your notes yet, then go ahead and do that. You can write on a piece of paper, or you can write